Hi, my name is Benjamin Watts, and this is a 5-minute devotional. And today's 5-minute devotional is going to be titled, Why Do You Worship? Our devotional is going to be based out of Psalm 11, and it reads, In the Lord I take refuge. How then can you say to me, Flee like a bird from your mountain? For look, the wicked bend their bows. They set their arrows against the strings to shoot from the shadows at the upright in heart. When the foundations are being destroyed, what can the righteous do? The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord is on his heavenly throne. He observes everyone on earth. His eyes examine them. So like I said, the question I want to ask you is, why do you worship? But first, before we dive into that, because I want it to be specific, I want it to be true to you. I know that there's countless verses. We're in Psalms where it's declaring praise to God almost in every chapter in some way, shape, or form, or it's showing you a way to give him praise or a reason to give him praise. And that's fantastic. It's amazing. I'm not belittling that, but I want to be specific today. I do this with my students all the time, and I ask them, what is holding you back? What is the one thing that you're going through in life that every time that you think you're starting to get a stride or consistency within your faith, it pulls you back? We spoke about in the previous devotion about turning your needs into wants. So what is it in your life that you need God to change? What are the desires of your heart that need to shift? For some of people I've run into, it's been, I just don't have a good earthly father. Okay, and then there's people that say that they're depressed. They can't find joy. There's people that say that they're anxious. They can't find peace. And so I have them write that down. So I challenge you to do that. And it's coming to your mind right now. There's that thing that always holds you back. It's maybe an addiction. It's maybe depression, anxiety. You don't feel like you can have joy. You feel like you're stressed. Time management, your job, whatever it is. And then also paired with that question, maybe you've already experienced that turning moment. So you look back onto your testimony and you say, God, when was that moment that it hit me, that I figured it out, that it all aligned? And for me, that's what I do. I look back to several years ago when it finally clicked. And I want you to turn that into the reason you worship. And for some of you, it may be a little confusing, but I'll give you a couple examples. For instance, I've run into people that say that they struggle to have an earthly father. So therefore, God is the father that they have never had. So they worship because he is the father that they've never had. Maybe you struggle with being faithful. And so maybe you worship because God is faithful when you aren't. I've seen so many different things that he is the peace in which they can never seem to find. He's the joy when they are down. Whatever it may be. For me, I worship because of the addictions he's broken within my life. And so I challenge you today to turn whatever's holding you back, whatever's setting you back, into the reason you worship. Satan is going to hate this. Satan, just like we read through Psalms and we'll continue, it's amazing to see God take the things that Satan wants to bring you down to then turn around and he throws right back at Satan. And so the link I want to make here in Psalm 11 is the assurance that it is finished, that he is already sitting high on his heavenly throne within his holy temple, observing us. And so that's my point, that's my confidence in my life, and I want you to hear that, is that he is already sitting on his heavenly throne. It is up to you to want that. And so today, what is the reason you worship? Why do you strike up praise? We read all through Psalms, and I'll just read a few, but in Psalm 7, the end of it says, I will give thanks to the Lord because of his righteousness. I will sing the praises of the name of the Lord Most High. We read in Psalm 3, For the Lord comes with deliverance. May your blessings be on your people. Psalm 4, But I, by your great love, can come into your house. In reverence, I bow down towards your holy temple. We get to bow down within his holy temple where he is already seated on high. And again, I want to read Psalm 7, the end of that one again. I will give thanks to the Lord because of his righteousness. I will sing the praises of his name, Lord Most High. So again, what is holding you back, and how can you turn that into the reason you worship? Because again, I worship because of the addictions he's broken in my life. Why do you worship?